On the transfer from grid to battery, you might see a brief sort of like, it won't even be a flicker, you might see a little dim, like just a little. The transfer from battery back to grid, you won't even notice. You won't have to reset the clocks. There's no, there'll be no period where you're without power. So the official transition time from Tesla is 70 milliseconds. It's probably more like 30 to 50 milliseconds. So it's like, it's not true UPS, because true UPS is under 10 milliseconds, but none of your electronics in your home will even register that there's been a flip from grid to battery.
So it's not like a generator at all?
No. The generator, there's power loss.
Yeah.
Transfer switch sends signal to generator starts, it runs. Transfer switch goes, yeah, voltage is good, frequency is good, okay, shunk, switch over to generator, power comes back on. Battery doesn't do that, it's instantaneous.
Okay.
So you can say, it's a nice sunny day like this, I have lots of solar coming off of the roof. I'm more than meeting my demand in the home, my battery's at 100%, then you could say, hey, charge my vehicle. So use as much stored power in the battery and the solar as possible to charge the vehicle. If it's nighttime, you're worried about how much power you're using and how much you have in the battery, don't use any of my stored power to charge the vehicle. So that gives you another little energy management feature in the app here. Self-powered and time-based. Self-powered is pretty self-explanatory. Uses stored energy to provide the home power after the sun goes down. So essentially, once the sun sort of, we're at 7, 8 o'clock and the sun's sort of over there and it's lower on the horizon, and the array on the roof isn't really getting direct sunlight anymore, you'll see solar generation drop and then tail off. You'll see the battery simultaneously come on, and then you'll see something coming off of the roof, you'll see something coming from the battery, and it'll be enough to supply. And so the battery will contribute more or less power as required to meet the demand in the home, up to that set point, which we currently have at 50%. And so, if you want to play with that, go to 60, go to 80, whatever, just to see how long will 50% carry the home through the night? How long will 80% carry the home through the night until it officially switches over to grid because you've hit that set point? So that's what that's doing. Time-based controls are a little bit different. So it's going to try and eliminate the most expensive power periods according to the time of use rates that we set in the app. Now the nice thing is actually Tesla's pre-programmed Hydro 1 rates in here, and because all utility rates across the province are sort of set by the OEB, all utility rates are the same, so it doesn't matter which utility. Peak, mid-peak, off-peak are the same, they start and finish at the same time, the cost is exactly the same, so there's no variation across utilities in the province. So you can use so we just use the Hydro 1 rate structure because that's all of Ontario and it's applicable right here in Kitchener as well. This morning or overnight at some point, what would have happened is the battery would have gotten down to that 50% set point because the house would have been consuming that stored power up to whatever point in time that it hit that, and then it would have just flipped over to grid. So when the sun came up this morning, the battery was sitting at 50%. And then as soon as the solar array starts to generate electricity, it starts to charge the battery and supply power to the home. Now we can set the priority here in the app, and I'll show you where we do that, to determine whether we want to prioritize solar energy to charge battery first or to supply power to the home first. If the priority is let's get that battery back to 100% as fast as possible, then the home will use grid power and all of the solar will go into the battery to get that charge level up. The battery can only take up to a maximum of 5 kilowatts. And so if solar is doing 7.1 and let's say we're at 80%, 5 kilowatts will be going into that battery and the remaining power will be available to supply power to the home, and because we're only using 1.6, then the excess goes out to the grid. So right now, 100% of the energy that is being consumed in the home is being provided by the solar generation, because we're generating 7.2. It's going through the Powerwall inverter, and it's coming into the home. And so we're providing 100%, we're 100% solar power right now. And then the excess energy, 5.6 kilowatts, is going out to the grid. So right now, 5.8 kilowatts.
But wait a sec, we're only providing 100% power to the home through that one circuit, right?
No, that's the entire home. Again, this is the total consumption of the home.
But can we feed the whole, we are feeding the whole home then,
Yes,
from
we
the
are.
battery or the solar?
Yeah, we are, because electrically what's happening is out of the Powerwall, we're going to the energy gateway, which is that other box downstairs.
Okay.
And then the energy gateway has an input from the main panel. It has the input from the Powerwall, and then it has an output to the sub panel. So the energy gateway is distributing that energy that's coming off of the solar array, and it's sending it to the sub panel. It's powering all of those loads. It's sending it to the main panel. It's powering all of those loads, and then the remainder is going out to the grid past your bidirectional meter, which is giving you credit for everything that's.
So we
going on.
truly are powering the whole house.
You are 100% solar powered right now.
Okay.
And you're exporting to the grid, which means you're now building up credit
Right.
at the current time of use rate, which is we're mid-peak right now, which is all of the excess energy that you're generating that's not either charging the battery or being consumed in the home is going out to the grid, and you're getting credit for that. So utility showed up and they put the bidirectional meter on, so it's measuring energy in and energy out. And every kilowatt hour you export is credited to you on your bill at whatever time of day that kilowatt hour goes out to the grid. So as your rates change from peak to mid-peak to peak to off-peak, depending on the time of day that the solar array is generating electricity, you're going to get the equivalent credit for whatever that time of use rate is in that period of time. So if you're exporting, and right now in the summertime between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., we're on peak rate. So that's the highest cost for electricity, but it's also the highest value for credit for exported energy.
Mm.
So, you know, the system's going to stop generating, you know, as we get sort of into the fall by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because the sun's going to be sort of over there. And if you have the battery set to use up to 50%, let's say, you know, again, adjustable, to carry you through that 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. period, so you're not pulling grid power, then you're saving all of your net meter credits that have been established at the higher rate period, and you're applying that, so you're almost getting, it's not quite 2 for 1, but you're getting a discount on the off-peak energy that you're consuming from the grid, because it's pulling from credits that were established at a higher